Hello everyone, welcome back to SSB Crack Exams. I am Sakshi and we are going to discuss some of the most important current affairs, current updates for you as per 15th September 2020. So let's start our session, but before beginning I would like to introduce you with SSB Crack Exams. It is one of the leading institution if you're preparing for defense examination like NDA, CDS, AFCAT, Territorial Army. For more details, you can visit our website. There you'll find the entire package of courses, mock tests, quizzes, study materials. And you can also follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Telegram. Do not forget to follow us on our YouTube channel, and you can also download our mobile app SSB Crack Exams from Google Play Store. So let's start our session. So in the yesterday's session, I asked you what is E-Codes project? What is E-Codes project? So as the name suggests, E-Codes, it is a electronic codes, which means all the hearing or the delivery of or the services of the codes will be delivered through electronic medium. So this particular mission, it is a project, it is a mission mode project, and it is a pan-India project, okay, which is monitored and funded by Department of Justice, Ministry of Law, Justice, Government of India. This comes under Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, under Department of Justice. And this particular project is for the district courts across the country. So this project, E-Code projects, was conceptualized on the basis of National Policy and Action Plan for Implementation of Information and Communication Technology in the Indian Judiciary 2005 report, which was submitted by E-Committee, Supreme Court of India. This is conceptualized under this particular report, this particular policy. So what are the objectives of E-Codes? Of course, to provide efficient, time-bound, citizen-centric service delivery as detailed in the E-Code project litigants charter. Okay, according to this charter, to provide efficient and time-bound citizen-centric services. Second, to develop, install and implement decision support systems in courts. Of course. Next is provide transparency in accessibility of information to its stakeholders, provide transparency, and also to enhance judicial productivity by both quantitatively and qualitatively, so that the service delivery of the justice should be affordable, accessible, cost-effective, transparent and reliable. Okay, so these are the objectives of E-Codes project. Very important project, especially it's been a very significant project during the COVID-19 pandemic, during the situation like COVID-19 pandemic, right? So let's start our session with the first important article that we have today. So as you all know that Parliament's monsoon session 2020, it had begun. So just for your information that Parliament usually has 3 sessions in the Parliament. Okay, there are 3 sessions in the Parliament. The very first one is budget session. Second one is monsoon session. And third one is winter session. But this time monsoon session is being delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But now finally it is happening, finally it began, and this will continue for 18 days this time. So we have already discussed about the suspension of question hour and 0 hour. We have already discussed about this, that government has suspended question hour and also curtailed the 0 hour. And we have already discussed about this. I would like you to answer in the comment section what is question hour and what is 0 hour, as have already discussed this in the previous session. Okay, so the Parliament session, monsoon session has begun now. So a total of 47 items have been identified for being taken up during this particular session in 2020, which will include 45 bills. 45 bills will be there and 2 financial items will be there. So we'll discuss as these bills will come up, but first of all we'll discuss about the National Commission for Homeopathy Bill 2019. So this was passed by Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha has passed this particular bill along with National Commission for Homeopathy Bill 2019. They have also passed National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill 2020. Both these bills were passed by Lok Sabha. Okay, the aim is to ensure the availability of high quality medical professional both for homeopathic treatment as well as the Indian system of medicine. At both the systems, for the homeopathy and for medicines, they want to ensure the availability of high quality of medical professionals. So earlier, Rajya Sabha has already passed this bill on 19th March this year in the budget session itself. Now, this was sent to Lok Sabha for the consideration, and Lok Sabha now finally has passed this bill in the monsoon session of the parliament. So first of all, the Homeopathy Bill, National Commission for Homeopathy Bill 2020. It seeks to repeal the Homeopathy Central Council Act 1973. It will repeal Homeopathy Central Council Act 1973, and it is to set up a National Commission for Homeopathy. Okay, these two things are going to be done under this particular bill. Moving ahead, the next one about the Indian System Medicine Bill 2020, it will seek to repeal the Indian Medicine Central Council Act 1970. It will repeal this particular act, and it is going to set up a National Commission for Indian System of Medicines. These two bills were passed by Lok Sabha in the recent monsoon session. Now let's move ahead. And next we have a very important update, and this can come in your examination as well. This is about Yoshihide Suga. Yoshihide Suga, he is about to become Japan's next Prime Minister. So Mr. Yoshihide Suga, who is Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary, he won the leadership vote in the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. As you know, in Japan there is a ruling party, Liberal Democratic Party, which is ruling now. So he won the leadership vote recently in this particular votings. Mr. Yoshihide Suga, you need to remember his name. Now he is about to become the Japan's next Prime Minister. So now he will be replacing long-serving Prime Minister Mr. Shinzo Abe, who was the Prime Minister, but he resigned unexpectedly in August 2020 due to the health problems. Now he will be replaced by Yoshihide Suga. So let me tell you a quick background about Mr. Yoshihide Suga. He is a Japanese politician serving as a president. Recently he serving as a president of the Liberal Democratic Party, which is a ruling party there. And his formal appointment is about to schedule and is about to take place on the 16th September 2020. Now let's move ahead and talk about the another important news that we have today. This is about the 3 bills that are introduced in Lok Sabha for the transformation of agriculture and also increasing the farmers' income. So these 3 bills, they are aimed at transformation of agriculture in the country as well as raising the farmers' income, and these were introduced in Lok Sabha. These bills, they are going to replace ordinances which were promulgated on 5th June 2020. You know, when an ordinance is promulgated, when the parliament is in the recess, which means when both the houses are not in session. During the recess time, the president, he can promulgate the ordinances, and he can promulgate the ordinances whenever he feels that it is necessary for the country to have that particular bill. So the ordinance was already passed on 5th June 2020. Now the bill is introduced and this will be passed in Lok Sabha. So what are these 3 bills? First, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020. Second, the Farmers Employment and Protection, Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020. Third is Essential Commodities Amendment Bill 2020. So Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020, the aim of this particular bill is to create ecosystem where farmers as well as traders both can enjoy the freedom of choices which are relating to the sales and purchase of the farmers' produces. This will provide the freedom of choices to both farmers and traders relating to the sale and purchase of the farmers' produce. Also, it promotes the efficient, transparent and barrier-free interstate and intrastate trade and commerce, which can allow farmers to come out from their regular market area. Next bill is the Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020. So the aim for this particular bill is to provide for a national framework on a farmers agreement that will protect the farmers agreement which can protect and empowers the farmers to engage in with the agri-business firms, processors, wholesalers, exporters and retailers. This will be the Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill, and this is going to provide a farming frameworks to the farmers. Okay. Next is the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill 2020. So the aim of this particular bill is to remove the commodities like cereals, pulses, oilseeds, edible oils, onion and potatoes from the list of essential commodities, and this will remove the fears of private investors of excessive regulatory interference in their business operations. So this is about the Essential Commodities Bill 2020, and all these three bills are going to be passed by Lok Sabha after the deliberation. So now let's move ahead, and next important update we have is about the petroleum projects in Bihar. So recently our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, he dedicated the nation the 3 petroleum sector projects in the pool bound Bihar. So he gave 3 petroleum sector projects, and these projects includes Durgapur Banka section, and it is about 200 kilometers of the Paradeep Haldia Durgapur pipeline augmentation project. Okay, this is the one project, and there are 2 projects for LPG bottling plants in Banka and Champaran. So there will be 2 LPG bottling plants in Banka and Champaran, and one is Durgapur Banka section about this. Okay. So these projects, they have been commissioned by Indian Oil and HPCL, which are PSUs under the aegis of the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. So you need to remember this, that they are commissioned by Indian Oil and HPCL. These projects and these plants will meet the LPG requirement, the household gas requirement of Goda, Deoghar, Dumka, Sahibganj, Pakur districts and some other areas of Uttar Pradesh as well, and also the Jharkhand area. Okay. Now we are going to talk about today, 15 September. It is celebrated as Engineers Day. Okay. So Engineers Day in India, it is celebrated on 15 September every year, and we mark the tribute to the Indian engineer M. Vishwesvaraya ji, who is also the Bharat Ratna. He was also awarded Bharat Ratna, Mr. M. Vishwesvaraya ji. But UNESCO, it celebrates the World Engineers Day on 4th March every year. Do not confuse with this. This is celebrated in India, 15 September celebrated in India, and we give tribute to M. Vishwesvaraya ji. And the 4th March, it is a World Engineers Day. Okay, it is celebrated on the international level. Also today, 15 September, we celebrate International Day of Democracy. International Day of Democracy, and you can say it is a very big day for us as India is the world's largest democracy. So International Day of Democracy, it is observed on 15 September to remind people that democracy is about people. Democracy is about people, and this day provides an opportunity to make people understand about the importance of democracy and effective realization of the human rights. So okay, 15 September is celebrated as International Day of Democracy as well as Engineers Day. Now I'll be telling you the current COVID-19 situation as per 14 September 2020. So the total cases have reached to 48,46,427. Recovered out of them are 37,80,107. Active cases are 9,86,598, and deaths have reached to 79,722. And now today I'll be telling you that total 60% of the total cases are recovered, and they are recovered only in the 5 states. And you can see the data also. These states are Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh, and these are the only states which have the highest number of cases as well. So the recovery are coming from these states only, the highest recovery. Okay. Now it is time for quiz. Let's revise the session with the quiz. So the first question is, when does International Day of Democracy is celebrated? When does International Day of Democracy is celebrated? 14 September, 15, 16, 17. So the correct answer is, it is 15 September, International Day of Democracy is celebrated. Next question is, Engineers Day is celebrated in India to mark the tribute to Jawaharlal Nehru, V. Ramakrishnan, M. Vishwesvaraya, none of the above. So we celebrate an Engineers Day to give tribute to M. Vishwesvaraya ji. Next question is, when does Engineers Day is celebrated in India? Engineers Day is celebrated in India on 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. So it is celebrated in India on 15 September every year. Now guys, it is time for question of the day. Try to answer this question in the comment section. So the question for you is, what is meant by hybrid warfare? What is meant by hybrid warfare. You'll see this particular term in the news recently, right? So you need to answer this in the comment section and we will discuss the complete detailed answer in the next session. Till then, work hard, stay motivated. Jai Hind.